22nd, Jackal.
Get ready to kick that dog Jackal style.
With Jesse James Dupree and Jackal. It's a full throttle blow. These redneck rockers are taking over the neighborhood. Friday, November 22nd, one big night with Jackal.
I don't know what's going on.
Spend the night with Jesse James Dupree and Jackal. Friday night party fun at the Cotillion Ballroom with Jackal. Never miss a show. Visit our
Jiggy Jaguar experience. Here is Jiggy Jaguar.
It is the world famous Jiggy Jaguar experience, coast to coast, border to border, all over the World Wide Web, and on 50 plus stations across the U.S. and Canada. I am, of course, I gotta find a good one. Hold on, I gotta find a good one. Let's go with this one. The most mediocre radio personality in north central Kansas. Jiggy Jag with you. I've got my man Israel, who's like a blowfish to twine factory. And we've got cousin Chris in the building, who is Israel referred to him last week as a hater. It's it's a hell of a day. It's already gone out of control. We've been on the air about 2 minutes. It is the Jiggy Jaguar experience, of course, ladies and gentlemen, is brought to you by our good friends at FocalMe-FocalU, FocalMe-FocalU.com. And Liz will be on with us next week to talk about Focal Me, Focal You. And we're going to have Tylen's boyfriend, Felipe, here. He will be here to have a Spanish conversation with her. We're just going to let them interview each other in Spanish, and I'm just going to sit here with a big sombrero on my head and do nothing. Oh, by the way, since we do have Israel in the building, we of course do have our...
And we got too damn many urban thugs. Yo.
And that's my official title. That's is Urban Thug. That's right. Now let's do this. We've got a lot of guests. We've got a lot of craziness. We have a guest on the line. We're gonna see if we can get her on the line. Are you there? Can you hear me?
I'm here.
What's up? What's going on? This is Jamie, I believe, correct? I hope this is Jamie.
Jamie Nutella.
Yes, yes. Somebody kept their booking at the right time. That's awesome for this show. No, you haven't. Now, Jamie, you're speaking with Israel.
What's up, Jamie?
Of course.
Hello.
Of course, cousin Chris is in the building. Dutch's cousin Chris.
He'll be angry for the end of the
He'll be angry. I think somebody told me the other day on Facebook the reason they think cousin Chris is so angry is because he doesn't get as much pussy as his cousin Dutch does.
Well, I'd be pretty angry too, then. You know, you got some competition in the way.
Really? Well, all I'll say about that is that it's Chris's sister, so he can do what he wants with her.
Oh my God. Jesus Christ.
Let the games begin, then, Israel.
It's on.
Let the games begin. We also have some studio guests in studio, of course.
Apartment, man. Studio.
Cousin Chris is a hater.
I told you it was coming.
He's a hater.
If you got hate in your heart, let it out.
I'm letting it out right now. You guys can all hear it. Studio. Really?
Jamie, we want to apologize in advance. Because he's even angry with himself. He wakes up in the morning and he's like, I hate myself because I'm short and I'm Buddy Lee in the pants, which is urban for having a short penis.
And then we got the professor just making a walkthrough.
I followed you a walkout too, man.
Jamie, tell us about what you're working on.
Well, let's see. Oh, gosh. We just got finished. We just literally wrapped a Bud Light commercial.
Bud Light?
Which was fun. And, you know, we filmed it in Culver City. We had a great time. And that's set to air probably at the end of the year or for Super Bowl. So we're keeping our fingers crossed.
You know what I appreciate about... Go ahead.
And we just finished a shoot in India as well for Energy BBDO out of Chicago. So we're keeping busy over here.
You know what I enjoy the most about Bud Light commercials?
What?
Titties. I'm just gonna be honest.
I knew it.
Beer. I'm not even a big beer drinker. I'll be honest with you, but I do like Bud Light, especially the Bud Light Lime. And when I drink Bud Light Lime, it's just a little bit better with titties. That's all I'm saying.
Well, God, I hope we're not a disappointment because I don't think this one's got titties in it, but it does have some other good stuff.
Like what? Let's talk about that. What's this good stuff?
What's this good stuff?
Well, you got Bud Light, you got a great bar setting, and you definitely have some amazing players on it.
That's like
the most I can say without breaching confidentiality right now.
Well, I mean, you're a great spokesperson because you sold that. I mean, I'm tempted to watch a beer commercial without titties, which is un-American, if you know, by definition. It's un-American to have a beer commercial with no breast in it. I read it somewhere, like in state legislator bill or something like that, in Kansas. What other acting do you do?
I don't do any acting. I have a company called Blue Eye Pictures, and we're a service company. So we actually execute production for ad agencies, PR firms, and clients direct. So let's see, if it could be anywhere, anything from the Super Bowl commercial that we had last year with Lexus to launching. Right now we have on the air the 10-year Toyota Scion anniversary. And we have an Under Armour spot on the air, and we also have a University of Arizona spot airing. So our clients are really ad agencies. They think of the incredible ideas, and they work with their clients, and by the time they want to execute their vision and put it into live action, we do the budgets, attach directors, and execute it for them. We physically do the production.
What was your...
So I'm really what they call a set producer. However, I grew up acting, but I realized at an early age that it really wasn't for me, and I liked being behind.
I grew up acting too, mainly like a thug, but that's besides the point now.
And we got too damn many urban thugs. Yo.
So, what was your favorite? What was your favorite production?
Ooh, okay. I've had a lot of favorite productions. I really enjoy the people that I work with. Let's see. I would probably have to say one of the funnest shoots that I did was a car campaign in Tokyo, in Japan. We got to actually go on. We launched the LFA for Lexus, which is sort of like their version of their high-end car, and we got to close down Fiji Racetrack and be with precision drivers and race car drivers, and that was kind of fun. We had a good time doing that.
So did you drive any of the cars?
Travel to another country, it's a lot of fun.
Did you drive any of the cars during that time?
I absolutely got to try the Lexus, which was amazing because the first thing that came out of my mouth was, where are the airbags? And the airbags are actually located in the seatbelt.
Oh, okay, that's kind of cool.
Pushing out from the dashboard, it actually comes out through the seatbelt.
That's cool because
so it braces yourself a little better.
Right. Well, I see. That's a great idea because, if you got it on the seat belt, if I'm in a wreck, then the airbag won't put out my blunt. I can still smoke while driving. So I think that's great. That's smoker friendly. They should
smoker friendly cars.
That is something that you should add into your campaign. And our cars are safe. We won all these awards and they're smoker friendly.
You need to be like a copywriter, an art director. You sound like you have a personality for it.
Yeah,
hey, I'll do whatever as long as it pays.
He means anything.
Almost anything.
Well, advertising definitely has come back, I mean, everything in advertising is about trends, right? So we're in a great time right now. There's no really traditional way to advertise. You can advertise on buildings, you're seeing a lot of social media, a lot of viral stuff. Before, when you would bid on a spot, it was just about commercials or, presentations for trade shows. And now you've got all this viral stuff coming up. So it's a really great time for advertising. So, hey, we could get you work.
Yeah, I think so. Chris here, who's in studio with us, he was thinking about selling ad space on his man boobs. He was actually going to license those
You're
out.
kidding me, man. You fucking kidding me?
When you're sexy, you're not considered big.
You're big.
Big boned.
Big.
It's like the new Odd Couple over there.
This is what I think. This is what I want to hear out of my advertisement. I'm gonna be honest with you. Some advertising pisses me off because I walked in a football game and all of a sudden here comes this commercial about something sad, and it just brings me down. Like, have you seen that the commercial about animals with Sarah McLachlan singing on it, like in the arms of the angel? I want to murder myself. I was like suicidal before that commercial went off. I didn't want a puppy. I wanted to kill puppies. Jamie, this is what I want from my advertising, right? I want some
You need to watch 10 Ways to Die. Have you seen that advertisement? It's called 10 Ways to Die.
No, I'm writing it down, though.
It's hilarious.
Write it down,
the tune on it is so catchy that you'll be singing it all day.
10 Ways to Die. I think you need to put me in some of your ads, because I would just be honest. Like, okay, here's my Burger King ad, right? They got this new Burger King sandwich with French fries on it, like as if that was a genius. Like, we've been doing that forever. But this is what I would say for this. Like, hey, this is Israel. I'm with Burger King, and this sandwich isn't the best that you've ever had, but it's pretty good. And that would be my average. Like,
Real quick, man.
I would go and check that out. I just want some honesty in my advertising. You know what I mean?
Fucking come in and check you out.
Like toothpaste, right? It pisses me off, right? Because you got all these. I seen on the news that people aren't brushing as much as they used to, right? So there's this toothpaste ad, and it's like 4 out of 5 dentists recommend this. Like, well, who are these 4 people, and why didn't the 5th person agree with it? That's what I know. And I know why he disagreed with it. We never tell you that, and that's important stuff. We just need more honesty in our commercials and advertising. Like, companies should be honest. Like, look, this car is the same as it was last year. We changed the headlights and added a new cup holder, but come buy it. I would respect that.
Yes,
Jamie, I'm on to something here.
You are very onto something. In fact, that seems to be the trend right now, which is why I was talking. I think I said 10 Ways to Die. I think the campaign is called Dumb Ways to Die.
That's even
all
better.
Dumb ways.
All ways to die are dumb.
Tourism, but it's hilarious. It won every award show, and it won the Gold Can Lion this year in the south of France. And
Chris, won one of those at one time.
One time.
But it's like a parody. It's a song that goes over and over again.
I joked that about 2 seconds ago.
What is your favorite brand to work with? Name some of the brands you've worked with.
Oh gosh, we have worked with so many brands. We've been in business for 18 years, so we've definitely worked with a lot of brands, from Adidas to Virgin Enterprises.
We got one of those in here.
To the bars.
We've got we're Jamie. I don't mean to cut you off. We're being joined by our next guest, Chris. If you want to hold on just a second. We're wrapping up here with Jamie Nutella, and then we will get to you, my friend. So just hold the line there. Jamie, as you were finishing, I didn't mean to cut you off. Go ahead and finish.
You better be good, Chris, because Jamie's
we've
good.
Worked, Blue Eye Pictures has worked with Adidas, Toyota Scion, Lexus, Pepsi, FedEx, Visa, Aquafina, Wrigley's. We've really worked with all the major brands. I can't say that I have one favorite out of most. I feel really lucky. All our clients are exceptionally great and witty and fun, and we enjoy what we do, so we enjoy working with them, and we get a lot of repeat business.
I can see why the companies would be, why they would like working with you, because you haven't said anything bad about them, and you've just been so gracious to them. So, we're glad that things are going well, and from now on, I'm going to tell all my friends, whatever commercial it is that you did it. Like, hey, my friend Jamie did that commercial.
You're awesome.
Whether you did or not.
That would be great, but don't put any lawsuits on me, okay?
No what?
That Blue Eye did it, and I don't get, credit for it.
Oh, no lawsuits. No lawsuits.
I'm joking.
Yeah.
Well, Jamie, as we wrap up here with you, I don't mean to cut you off. We're going to be up against the clock here in a few, but tell me how people get a hold of you. How do they communicate with you? All that fun stuff.
Well, let's see. We have a Blue Eyed Pictures website, www.blueyedpictures.com, BLUEYED with one E. We have a social media following. We've got a Twitter and Facebook and Instagram page, so follow us, and we're always out and about. Our social media is linked to everything. You can also read about us in Adweek or Shoot Magazine or Creativity Online, which are some of our trade magazines. We're pretty well fascinated. I think Josh Mitchell does a great job with everything he's doing. Well,
it's amazing stuff. Jamie, thanks for being on with us today.
Jamie.
Thanks for being on. I appreciate it.
Absolutely. Thanks for having me, guys. Have a good morning. Well, it's afternoon for you, but have a good one.
Hey, it works. 50 stations around the world listening to us. Who knows where the hell they're listening to us? Who knows what time it is? But but thanks for being on. I appreciate it. We'll talk to you soon. Thanks.
Okay. Thanks.
Appreciate it.
Bye-bye.
She didn't thank Israel. She thanked me, but she didn't thank Israel. Damn it.
She did it mentally. I picked up on it.
Now, before we go to our next guest, I want to give you a little bit of sample of his music.
Put down those guns.
He's got some new music out there, and
listen to what I'm getting ready to put down.
Israel over there grooving.
That funk.
Now, we're going to play a little bit more of this guest's music as we move along here, but I want to get him on the Skype-a-rooney. If you're joining us on JiggyJaguar.net or Ustream, you'll be able to hear us chat with this individual. You'll be able to hear us and see us chat with this individual. Also on Talk Radio X and Radio Xenu. We want to welcome to the broadcast former member of the Isley brothers, Mr. Chris Jasper. How are you, sir?
I'm doing great, man. Great being on.
Now, Chris, we've had you on in the past. The last time we had you on, myself and the Professor Steve Lubsey basically drilled you on advice for young artists. And we have some young artists in the studio today, and by young I don't mean me, Chris, or Israel. And wanted to get your thoughts on music and different things. But before we get started, my man, tell us how this new CD has been going. It is absolutely amazing. It is flying up the charts, my man.
Yeah, it's doing great, man. I'm getting so much great response from people. I'm able to connect with them on Facebook, and just the responses I get from them, the personal responses are just incredible. I mean, and this is one thing that I like about the social media, is that you can connect directly with people. I couldn't get that kind of feedback before when I released a record. I could only get it, in sales. You knew where your record was selling. You knew where you were getting airplay, but you didn't know exactly what people felt, and they really loved this project, and that really encourages me.
We've got Chris Jasper from the Isley Brothers with us today here on the broadcast, and he's got "Keep Believin'" out there, which was a track that we heard a little bit ago. Tell me about "Keep Believin'."
Yeah, "Keep Believin'" is that's the message that I think we need to be saying to everyone, but especially to young people. Is that don't give up on what you're pursuing, and keeping things in mind like having goals and achieving those goals.
I got goals.
Setting high goals. Owning the things that you make.
Yeah.
Working hard. Those kind of things that we learned when we were coming up. Somehow people aren't saying them as much. They're saying other things.
And
but
these
are
are
things that made
things
America
that
great. These are the kind of principles that made America great, and I think there's something that needs to be said again.
I think that would be a great slogan for Obama as he's leaving office, that he should keep believing.
Yeah.
That's what I think. Now, Mr. Jasper, I'm Israel. How are you doing today?
I'm doing fine.
I want to start by saying that I'm a big fan of the Isley brothers.
Yeah.
And
oh yeah, we are huge fans of the Isley brothers. That's why we wanted to have you on today.
I'm a huge fan, and I just want to say that I bought a couple of you guys' greatest hits albums, And you guys owe me like 18 years of child support because I made a couple babies to your music. So if you could get that to me whenever, that'd be fine. But man, you guys are great at what you do, man. And along the lines of what you're saying, I think you're absolutely right. Music today, I was talking to my friend John on the way up to the show. It lacks so much soul today, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's like it's so much easier for people to get out there and talk about BS than it is for them to open up and be honest about some things, you know what I mean? Now, I like, you know, Tupac. I like music like that really talks about social issues. But for the record, let it be said that I'm not against music with titties in it. If they have titties in the music, I'm 10% happier on average. I'm just saying. But what I want to ask you about today is, you know, I do a segment with Jiggy here called Step Your Game Up, and it's for independent artists of all genres, trying to help them understand how to be more professionality, or how to have more professionality and how that works. Could you allude to that? Like, what makes you want to work with the independent artists? Do you work with independent artists?
Well, I'm independent. Gold City Records, my label's independent. Well, what it takes to be independent, I think, is your material, I think, has to be even better than some, you know, artists that are on larger companies. And the reason is, you know, you have to work harder to get your material across.
Yep.
Your material is extremely important, the songs that you come up with, the songs that you record. And that's one thing that I would suggest is, you know, everybody who's independent, you know, really try to gauge what it is that you have. You know, how's it going to stack up against all the other competition out there? And I think if you do have, you know, a good product, you have a better chance.
We've got Chris Jasper today from the Isley Brothers and Golden City Music. He has an amazing CD out there. Keep Believing. We heard that earlier. We're going to play Inspired here in a few moments. Talk to me a little bit about Inspired. It's a hell of a track, my friend.
Yeah, Inspired is, you know, one of the love songs on the CD, and you know, it's just one of those things where, you know, if you're in love like I am, you know, your wife or your husband should, you know, have that type of effect on you, and that's the kind of song it is, and that's what it's talking about.
We're going to play a little bit of that underneath here while we continue to kind of chat back and forth with Chris. How did you come up with the idea for this track?
The track, all of the music, I wanted to record sort of my signature.
Yeah.
When I was with the Isley Brothers, you know, I had way to voice and everything and chord progressions. And I wanted to record this album in that light, you know, things that people identify me with, you know.
Yeah.
So that's how I came up with the music.
Do you you mentioned making songs for, like, you know, the person that you love or whatever. In hip hop, we got a term called side piece, and that's like your second girlfriend. Do you make any music for them? Because they need love too, right?
No, well, I am a person who is a Christian. I follow the principles in the Bible. That's something that I couldn't promote. I can't promote fornication. Well, but I can promote true love, and that's what I do.
Sometimes you love a woman from the bottom of your heart, but you still have room for another one at the top, and that's all I was saying.
Well, again,
wow.
I'm just joking with you, man.
I understand it, but I cannot promote it.
Fair enough.
We've got Chris Jasper with us today from the Isley Brothers. He's got the brand new CD out there, Inspired. And we have some independent artists in studio with us. Somebody get Burgess a microphone. We'll start with him. Burgess, you got any questions for Chris Jasper from the Isley Brothers? We've got him on Skype. We've got him on the radio here. Legendary Isley Brothers. If you're gonna pick somebody's brain, this is the guy.
I don't know. I guess when writing, how do you know which subject is best to write about? I mean, concerning not just your own life, but how it affects the listeners and so forth. I mean, what's the process you use in order to choose what to write about?
Yeah, writing.
Of course, love is always something you can write about because, everybody usually has that experience in life at some point. However, the other things that I write about, like social issues, usually are things that are going on, currently. Like in Let My People Go, I address war and I address, poverty in that song. In The Prince of Peace, I address some of the same things, only, things like, teaching young men to be good fathers, A lot of times I will pick situations that are occurring in society right now and give, maybe some answers, to some of those questions.
Is there anything that you would suggest to anybody else that's considering writing or becoming a writer? How to sift through because I know there's some people that write about some stuff I don't even care about. I don't want to hear about it. You should probably keep it in the bedroom where it started. But is there anything that you would use to suggest, I guess, to help censor some of the unneeded stuff that they're trying to display out there?
Yeah, well, I don't like to be negative, and I don't think it's necessary to be negative. Some artists think that, for shock value, maybe, they have to do certain things,
Now, who would do a thing like that?
You don't have to be negative. We all know what negative things are going on out there. We know about that. I think it's more important to provide a solution, answers. I think that's more important. Like Fight the Power was a song that provided an answer. It talked about, what was going on, but the push of the song was fight the powers that be. Keep going, keep trying to get your voice heard. Don't give up, fight. So I think it's important to give solutions rather than just all down in the gutter and negative all the time. Like I said, we've all been there. We don't need to hear that again. we need answers today.
Mr. Jasper, this is Israel again. I'm releasing a new album coming up here, and it's called Who's Afraid of the Dark, and it kind of alludes to what you're saying. You know what I mean? Like needing to talk about different things. I think the problem is that we're not honest about the things that we talk about.
Yeah.
Like, you know what I mean? Yep. Like, we want to kind of tap dance around race, and it's something that you should really just hit head on. And it is what it is. There are racial differences in our country, and it's only the idiots who can't tell the difference, you know what I mean? Because I pretty much hate everybody equally. And I know that's probably not a nice thing to say, but in my heart it's fair. You know what I mean? Like, everybody gets on my nerves.
We need to get back to the foundation of the truth, and that is God's word. And what does God say? He says, God is no respecter of persons.
I don't respect people either.
We shouldn't be either. You know what I mean? It shouldn't matter what a person is. You judge them on what they do, not not where they're from. So, God is no respecter of persons, and neither should we. And that's what I mean about providing answers. A lot of people know situations.
Oh yeah. I completely agree with you on that.
They lack the ability to know, well, what do I do about this? How should I view it? What's the right viewpoint? And that's what I think is sorely missing in today's messages, even from our quote-unquote leaders. They don't tell you how to look at it properly. You know what I mean? They'll tell you, oh, yeah, this is wrong over there. This is wrong over here. This guy's doing this over there. But wait a second. What's the solution, though? How should we look at it? How should we view it? And how should we live day to day with it? Now, and that's what's missing. And that's what I try to put in my music.
I know you might not agree with what I'm about to say, but I think the solution is, and this is just my opinion, okay? I think the solution is that more people just need to smoke reefer.
Oh, Jesus. Well, at least I got a laugh out of Chris.
I'm just saying, it's kind of hard to be racist when you're high. It's harder, you know what I mean? Like, I got to get hamburgers and drinks.
And you don't even care what color the hamburger is.
No, at that point, I don't care. I don't care whether you give me dark soda or white soda. Just give me soda.
I don't care if it comes in a red box, a blue box.
You know what I mean? And we need to, that's what I mean. We just need to be more honest. Like, you know what I mean? I like people more when I'm high. I do.
I like people more when I'm high.
I love God, and I just left church. Matter of fact,
I just left church.
Congratulations to my mother. She got married today, so I went to church. So I'm you know, I'm seriously. I think it's a beautiful thing that people express how they feel about God. I'm not like a religious person, but I do believe in God. I think that's important part to have spirituality a part of your life, and I think it's too many artists that are afraid to talk about their relationship with God. You know what I mean? And that's one thing that is important to me, because growing up listening to a lot of hip hop, I didn't feel like there was no happy medium. You know what I mean?
Yep.
It was like you go to church and they're like, oh, if you listen to hip hop, you're going to hell. So I'm like, I got hell in a tape in a Walkman in my pocket right now. So now, as an artist myself, I try to talk about my relationship with God, talk about how I view the world and how those rule sets affect me, so that some other kid can understand, look, man, you can love God, you can be a decent spiritual person and still be very cool. Some of the coolest people I know, the most laid back people, you know, fun to be around, are people who go to church every day. Now, on the opposite end, there's people who go to church every day and I can't stand. And that's just what it is, Chris.
Well, yeah, you're just talking about personalities now.
Pretty much, yeah.
It's much cooler to be at one with God than not, because
Absolutely.
God is the one that holds eternity.
Yeah, we know what happens when I
He's
drive
the one who
bus.
holds eternity. There's no one cooler than God. So
I mean, I drove my own bus for years.
Not-
and
I drove my own bus for
not
years.
good.
you know, that's
iPhone,
it.
Android.
That's
Yeah.
the truth.
Yeah, absolutely.
The other stuff that we learned, because I came up, I came up in Cincinnati, when you were supposed to be cool,
Right.
and you know what cool means,
I do.
You're supposed to be tough.
I'm still a little cool.
All that stuff, that's great. But that's that's not what makes you, exceptional. What makes you exceptional is education, what you know. I went back to law school and got my JD. You know what I mean? There is nothing cooler than being smart. And that's the thing that's not being said out there in the world. And that's why so many people are misled. Because they're misled into thinking that it's the street way that makes you, no, you're not cool doing that.
So
you're not cool doing that at all.
It'd be a really bad idea
Everybody
to
in the
sample
world
your
does
music
that.
without
So what?
permission.
That doesn't separate you. That
Now,
distinguishes you from somebody.
I completely agree with you, Chris.
What's in your mind? Like I wrote a song called Superbad from years ago, and it says, I'm building up my mind. I'm opening up my eyes. What's my name? Superbad. I'm number one in school. That is the thing that distinguishes you. Malcolm X, Martin Luther King, those guys were intelligent. You know what I mean? That is the thing that distinguishes you and sets you apart. And that's what a person's goal should be. And people are not saying it enough.
I'm in Wichita, Kansas, and if you couldn't tell, I'm a black man, and
I wouldn't care.
well, Wichita is like 86% white, so I got a lot of white friends. And when I'm listening to some hip hop and I can't understand what they're saying, I'm embarrassed because I can't translate for my white friends. I'm like, I don't know what he's saying because he's not using syllables. So I totally understand. Some of these rappers out here, man, sound like they dropped out in the second grade. I'm like, it really shows. It's like,
that's not cool, man.
Just your text messages.
It's like the rapping and text message language, and I'm like, well, what do you mean? What are you saying? I actually graduated from Wichita State University. That's Final Four Shockers. If you didn't pay attention, and you should, Chris, because the Shockers are great. And I went there, so I'm all about education. You know what I mean? And you don't want to be a fool. You know what I mean? And I try to incorporate some intelligence in my music.
Yep.
And I just call it intellectual ignorance, because I talk crazy, but it's intelligence behind it, if that makes sense. It's just to make a point that sometimes we all need to look in the mirror, and when we look in the mirror, sometimes we don't feel so pretty on the inside, and we all want to feel pretty, like butterflies and unicorns and bunny rabbits skipping through a field of daisies by a babbling brook. That's how I want to feel inside, Chris.
Keep believing, bro.
I seen Jesse Jackson live.
Said, keep on pushing.
Yeah,
Keep on pushing.
I seen Jesse Jackson live at Wichita State. He came and he did a speech, and I wasn't inspired. I'll just say that, but I think I was supposed to be, And that's what he kept saying, like, keep hope alive. And to be honest with you, I couldn't understand half of the stuff he was saying because his words are so jumbled together. I'm like, I don't know. How can he be the voice of the revolution? Because we need one. But this revolution has to be one of spirit. You understand?
Yep.
It has to be, we have to get back to the kind and loving people that we truly are. I think it's society that makes us put on this facade of who we want to be, and everyone has on this outer shell to protect them from other people, but they don't realize that underneath it all, everybody wants to love each other. So let's just ELE. You ever watched the movie with Will Ferrell? It's a semi-pro, and he's ELE. Everybody love everybody. That's what I live by, Chris. ELE.
That's good. That's good.
We've got Chris Jasper with us today at 37 minutes after the hour. We're going to be talking to the X-Man, Xavier McDaniel, former Wichita State and Seattle Supersonic great here in a few moments. Burgess, pass the mic to whoever wants to ask Chris a question. We're going to let everybody just kind of ask artist questions here to Chris since we've got him on the line. Anybody who wants to ask Chris Jasper a question, have at it. If not, I'm going to let Israel finish things up.
And which do you like better? You like performing on stage better or the studio work?
I've always liked studio better because I like creating new music. Performance is great because you get to see that reaction that people have right away, that initial response from the stage. But I always liked writing and recording and putting together a new piece of music the most. That's what I like most about the business.
We've got Chris Jasper with us today, former Isley brother. I want to thank you for being on with us today. We're going to play Prince of Peace as we go, and we'll talk to you soon, Chris. Thanks for being on, man. I really do appreciate it.
Hey, man, it's always a pleasure being on, man.
Appreciate it.
Always.
You are a great friend to this broadcast, and I will catch up with you this week, and we'll get you on next couple months or so.
Excellent.
Appreciate it, man. Thank you much.
Thanks a lot.
Chris Jasper with us today here on the program, and we're going to play Prince of Peace. Take a little time out here. When we come back, the X-Man himself, Xavier McDaniel, in the building.
Yeah, I can't wait.
Jizzy Garizzi with you. Israel, Cousin Chris, and the rest of the crew will be back here in a few moments. We're going to take a quick time out. Prince of Peace here on the world-famous Jiggy Jaguar Show.